Hey everybody, how are you? My name is Peter, and usually I do MLB. I usually talk about baseball all the time, but occasionally I will talk about NFL and I will talk about my Arizona Cardinals. Today, I really want to talk about the Arizona Cardinals since there's a big draft coming up, and last year I made a video talking about Arizona must get Kyler Murray and must get rid of Rosen. I got a lot of shit for that. Clearly, that was the right decision. Josh Rosen is just awful, right? I don't care offensive line or not. But today we're going to dig deep into who should Arizona draft. There's a new rule now with the NFL where they extended the playoffs, right? And the number two doesn't get a bye, which I love that. You know, it's always good to have more teams get into the playoffs. It's better for football. You never know what happens. And I never agreed with the number two getting a bye anyway. Arizona Cardinals last year. Let's dig into what they did. Kyler Murray was phenomenal last year, okay? The only thing that I seen wrong with the Cardinals last year when it comes to offense is they struggled in the red zone a lot. They had a lot of chances to get in and they couldn't. They have a Hall of Fame ballot, number one Hall of Fame right away in Larry Fitzgerald. I've been a Jerry Rice fan my whole life, and after he retired, I got to be a Larry Fitzgerald fan right away. On, off the field, the guy is just right away in the top 10 best receivers of all time. Amazing, amazing player. However, Father Time is undefeated, right? He's probably got another year or 2 years, if depending on how Arizona does. They just got the steal of the century in getting DeAndre Hopkins, and to kill two birds with one stone, they got rid of David Johnson's awful contract. And the guy David Johnson has hands, right? I like David Johnson, but just something was wrong with him. Not for the money, it just he had that great year and it just didn't work out. Okay, hats off to Steve for getting rid of and making this trade, and then you can thank Bill O'Brien for this ridiculous thing that he did. Anyway, let's jump into how Arizona is going to do. They have an option here. You have DeAndre Hopkins, you have Christian Kirk, and you have Larry Fitzgerald, and you made the best move, to be honestly. And it's Kenyon Drake was amazing last year, and he fits for Arizona. He can catch, he can run. He's going to be terrific, and that transition tag that they did, he will get an extension. He just fits for Arizona. So they got a really good running back. They got a great quarterback. They got the best receiver in football. They got a Hall of Famer, and they got a really good receiver in Kirk. Let's stop a second. I said last year that they needed to get Metcalf. Instead, they went after guys like Isabella. It was a big mistake. Isabella's good. Okay, he fits the offense, right? He may be great if they can fit him in there. But Metcalf was phenomenal. They needed a big receiver. They needed this number one guy who can be just take over. They got that now in Hopkins. Okay? So now we have an option. We have the number 8 pick. Okay? You have CD Lamb, who is friends with Kyler Murray. Murray wants him bad. Or do you get an offensive lineman and protect Murray because he's going to die soon if he keeps running for his life? Here's my opinion. The only reason I say we get CD Lamb is because I do not want the San Francisco 49ers to get him. If they get Lamb, we're going to be in trouble. I'm sorry. If they get Lamb, we're going to be in trouble. Lamb is a number one in the making. The guy is fantastic. He breaks tackles. I do not want to see this guy in our division. If he goes to Arizona, you're going to put DeAndre and CD Lamb 1-2 because Larry won't be there forever, right? Christian Kirk is a really good player. He is solid. But I would like to see Hopkins and Hopkins rookie type player there in another year or two. Just imagine how that's going to look, right? Plus, you don't know if Kirk's going to stay healthy. I would love to see Lamb go. Now, I get it. We need to protect Kyler Murray, okay? They have Humphreys. He's back. I honestly think there's more offensive linemen out there. Let's play the other way. If they decide to go get an offensive lineman, who do you get? There's two offensive linemen. That's really the main one, right? It's Jedrick Wills and Tristan Wirfs. Now, if for me, it's a no-brainer because I know Tristan is a monster, but Jedrick Wills just looks like already a Hall of Fame type, but he has everything right. The only thing he doesn't do right is he cannot stop doing false starts. However, what I'm looking for is a guy who can play in that offense, who has the right mechanics. We don't need a big guy who if you looked at a lot of his videos, and I've watched Tristan, he has a lot of mechanical problems sometimes. I've seen a lot of guys get by him. I don't know if it's he doesn't have his feet right. I don't know if it's his hips. I don't know what he's doing wrong. But I really rather a guy that's already more advanced than him than somebody with maybe more upside because he's bigger, right? They have a guy that honestly in Wills who fits that offense perfectly. So if they get Wills, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, we made a mistake. If you can give Kyler Murray more time, then yeah, you don't really need Lamb because Arizona has a guy in Keyshawn Johnson who's up and coming, and I really like him. You have Sheffield. They got rid of Cooper, but I'm all for Arizona getting an offensive lineman. But I am scared if Lamb goes to San Francisco. That's the truth. So if you tell me Lamb's going to Oakland or somewhere out of here, then I'm not going to say anything. And I know you shouldn't draft because you're worried about somebody on your division getting. You have to worry about your team. But just think about that. San Francisco was so close to winning the championship last year, and you add another receiver to that team and of his caliber, we're going to be in a lot of trouble because they already have a phenomenal team, and just adding that guy is going to be crazy. So what I'm looking for here is, what do you guys think Arizona's going to do, right? Do you feel that they need to get an offensive lineman to help Kyler Murray? Yeah, that's a no-brainer. But do you feel that later on they can get it, right? Do you think later on there's going to be guys out there that can still be solid? Because Arizona's offense works quick, right? They're going to work fast. So the offensive line last year towards the end, if you remember, did very well. They were blocking, and you can see how we played when we played against Seattle and other teams, how well we did. We played Seattle really well at the end. So Arizona had a lot of great things about them. They got a solid kicker, which is great because he's always consistent. Arizona next year makes the playoffs. With this extension of the extra team, they make the playoffs, no question about it. If Kyler Murray was to get hurt, God forbid, Brett Hundley played really well. It's a testament to Kingsbury's great offense that he has. You know, everybody was worried about how he's going to do and how's it going to happen in the NFL. Is it going to work? You know, he didn't work well in college. Let me tell you something. You had to take a chance, right? You had to take a chance on Murray and Kingsbury, and it's worked out well so far. Do not pay attention to their record last year. They should have beat Detroit. They played San Francisco well. They played Seattle well. They had some games. They played Tampa Bay well that they messed up. They easily could have won 8 games last year. Easily. Maybe 9. Okay? Kyler Murray is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback if he stays healthy. Arizona just has a really good team. Now, they can go the other way. They can pick a defender. It really depends on how the draft is going to go. Okay? I don't think I want a defender right now. I think it's either you go Lamb or you go Wills. Those are my 2 options. You know, I know this kid Becton is a big guy. You know, he's another strong one. There's a lot of offensive linemen in this thing where I think they can wait to the 3rd round to get another couple of guys. And I think it'll work out well for them. Because if you have Lamb and you have Hopkins and you have Drake and you still have Larry and you have Kirk, because you know injuries happen, right? Kirk got injured last year. So if you have these guys and then you can somehow fix that offensive line and you give them a few more seconds and Drake, oh my God, how are you going to stop them? How? Right? Hopkins is going to easily just kill in the red zone. And then after that, between Murray's feet, Drake's running and catching ability, Larry's ridiculous hands, Kirk can play, Hopkins' insane hands. I mean, who do you play? Who do you guard? And imagine having Lamb there. Oh my God, that would be insane. You know, that would be great. And I think the defense is just going to get better and better. They made some great free agent signings. Chandler Jones is one of the best players still. I think Patrick Peterson, you know, he had a rough year last year. He came on later, and, you know, with the suspension, I think everything will be fine. So you guys let me know, okay? Let me know. And that's to say without Murphy, too. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to you soon. Bye.